Okay, so today we're going to be learning how to draw just a simple dragon head from a side view. So you're going to want to start off by just drawing a circle, and if you're drawing this on paper, the stuff here is going to be what you want to draw light. They're construction lines. You start with a circle and you just start to shape out the head. The top line is like the top of the snout, and I'm drawing in the lower jaw right there. I noticed that it's a bit wide, so I try to thin it out a bit. And my pen tablet just kind of exploded there, but that's just the mouth. And I'm working in the brow here, which is just, it's going to be right above the eye, and it's usually where the horn comes off of the head. And that's just the bottom of the neck there, and that separates the upper part of the neck and the lower part of the neck. So I'm going to lighten that up, and I'm going to go over it for some of my finishing lines. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in for this part, and I'm going to start going around the lines and making definitive lines here. And here I'm working in some added detail to the snout. I don't usually like to have my snouts just straight lines. I like to add bumps or ridges to give it some more texture and detail. And for this one, I'm going to have more of a sharp tooth thing on the outside instead of having just a straight line for the mouths like I would usually have if it was an open mouth when I could add teeth. But since I can't add teeth to this one, I'm just going to have some sharp lines in there. And here it's just an indentation. I like to add them to my drawings because it adds a bit of detail in a place where there usually isn't, and I'm just adding some spikes here to the lower jaw area. And I'm going to get the eye in. The eye usually isn't that large for the head, and usually the top of the eye goes along the bottom of the brow. So I'm just finishing some lines in here. And here I'm adding some ridges, or I guess scales, that separate the bottom part of the neck from the top part of the neck. And I'm going to start adding, I just add a few spikes on the horn right there, just to give it a bit more detail. And I'm adding some ridges into those bumps. Okay, and now I'm going to get rid of the construction lines, and there's our line art, and we're going to get into shading. Now, my light source for this is going to be in the top left area of the screen. So it's not going to be very good shading because I'm trying to keep this within like 10 minutes, but I pick some clear areas of dark and light, and I'm going to start making the differences in shading. So as you can see, the back of the neck will be darker, and the bottom of the mouth will be darker. So now I'm going to go in with a light brush and accent and highlight areas that would be hit by light. See, the ridges would be curved, so one part would get light and the other part would get shadow. So you want to keep in mind where the light is coming from and alter the drawing based on that. So I'm lightening most of the things on the left part, so because that's where the light source is coming from. And I'm going to go with very dark highlights now to make it look pretty nice and just show more about where the light is coming from. It adds more dimension, and the brow would go over the eye, so you would want to put shadow underneath of that. Also, the indentations and the nostril would need shadow, and the jaw is going over the part of the neck, so that part is going to be very dark because very little light is getting there. And I'm also going to add a bit of that underneath of the horn there to show where the shadow of it is going over. Okay, so here's the finished copy. It's not too good, but it only took 6.5 minutes for the line art and shading, so I don't think it's that bad. Anyway, thanks.